network. Martin is the ex-Samarpan trustee, and he has invaluable experience and a great journey on Samarpan. So he will share today. I will start live because we are already running late of 4 minutes. So I will be starting the webinar now. Jai Jinendra, and welcome to the 8th session of online meditation. Samarpan meditation is simple but immensely powerful. We have meditation centers. We have meditation centers in UK and also worldwide. His Holiness Sri Shigupanan Swami, affectionately known as Swamiji, is the spiritual teacher and the founder of Samarpan meditation. One doesn't even need to put any efforts to do meditation. One reaches the meditative state on his own by just doing meditation. And that's the real form of meditation. The first experience that one gets after sitting for meditation is that one enjoys sitting there. All our thoughts stops and one experience mental peace. By doing regular meditation, you increase your soul level. More you increase the soul level, you see the magic happening within yourself. Since we have started this online meditation, we are not only able to reach worldwide, but also reach different part of UK like London, Leicester, Oxfordshire, Somerset, Wales, Lincolnshire, and known more people. Key thing is to people get connected to their own soul. Through simple method of used by Samarpan meditation and be a part of iconic project of Jain Center in London, located in Colindale. Let Let me welcome the founder, CEO, and man behind the vision of iconic project, Dr. Natubai Shah.
Thank you very much, Paras. Yes, we are so happy that Samarpan meditation has affiliated with us. When we think about meditation, meditation is a process of purifying the soul. Ultimately, we want spiritual liberation and just be like Mahavir or people who have Siddha or people who have liberated themselves. The meditations are four kinds of meditation in Jainism. Uh, One is we call Artha Dhyan, that means inauspicious meditation, which we do all the time, thinking about past, future, and all the time what we have done. But meditation means to live in the present, that it means. Then Raudra Dhyan, that means cruel meditation, hurting somebody, taking away somebody, something from somebody, or tax evasion, etc. We are thinking this is called inauspicious meditation. From that, we have got to go to auspicious meditation, Dharm Dhyan. There are also four kinds. I won't go into details of that. And then ultimately, pure meditation. When we purify soul, then then your soul becomes purified, and then all the clouding which is around your soul, which goes away, and we have got same knowledge like Mahavir. From Atma, we become Paramatma. From soul, we become pure soul, and that is what is all about it. And after that, you are always in happiness and bliss, equality, and total knowledge, to perfect conduct, etc. We want to reach that. And after that, there is no rebirth. Till you get rebirth, that means you have not liberated your soul. And Mahavir was the greatest meditator. He used to meditate in his last life 22 hours a day. 22 hours a day. Mahavir was 30 years older than Buddha, and he revived Jainism, modern Jainism. Now, for this, we are creating a Jain center in Colindale. I'll just give quickly what is happening, how far it is, what we have achieved, and it belongs to everybody. It is Jain center, but it belongs to all communities. What is happening there on the top floor, we are having a place of worship and study for all Jain traditions. Next, then the ground floor and first floor are community center. For meditation, as far as Samarpan meditation and other meditation classes are there, we'll have a big hall which can accommodate up to 300 to 400 people, small rooms of 15 to 20 people, and all facilities, the modern facilities. Top floor will have a marble carving, beautiful marble carving temple, which so that it becomes icon for everybody to visit. Next place. This is the work which is going on at the moment. I'm hurriedly because there's something else. We have got general meeting today as well, 10:30, and I'm hurriedly. You can see the work is going on site. It was a very good site, 30,000 square feet, 10,000 square feet on each floor. There will be site, and it will be huge, which should be icon, or for which even North London or even Barnet, it could be a place of attraction, tourist attraction, plus resource center for schools and colleges in an education institution. You can see on the second floor, second floor, you can see was facility. Here, God be called Tirthankar. Tirthankar is a person who finds the right simple place to get liberation spiritually. That we are showing. Big mandap we are showing. Then the big hall, 400 people. Guru Mandir and others for other traditions also doing. And it's deity. Here we have got 108 Parsnath, which are, Parsnath was 250 years before Mahavir. And he was so popular that there are 108 types of temples in India, which we are putting in home rim shape marble sets. We are putting this first of its kind in the world. And naturally, 108 Parsnath is outside India. This would be the great. And all facilities for one flat, visiting rooms, and whatever is necessary. Then, next, please. This you can see architecture. Architecture, Jains are known for their architecture. It is such a beautiful architecture. You can see it, Rang Mandap, you can see it, Rang Mandap and carving. Something for which, then there are all kinds of murtis are next, please. Different kind of murtis are there. Next, please. Next. The murtis are there. Naturally, I won't go into detail. This is the first floor. First floor also is big first floor. As I said, a community center. This hall can hold 400 people. Then there is a multi-phase center we are making. What is a multi-phase center? So there are concepts of 9 historical phase, major phase we are putting there. And then there will be their artifacts, etc. in front. There will be library also, e-library and modern library. Then multi-purpose rooms. Then there are 4 rooms for visitors, etc. There will be gallery, balcony gallery, which we can have exhibition. And this will be open to everybody to use. Next, please. You can see different kind, 100 people, 200 people, 400. Right from the beginning, they are making electric skin so that people, suppose if 100 people, 200, 400 people, and all facility, because kitchen is downstairs, you can bring the food upstairs in this hall, not in the temple. There is also exhibition gallery. This will be multi-phase center, and these are different prayer rooms or whatever you want to use. And behind there are 4 visitors or scholars room. Next, please. Now that's a car park. Then the reception room, big room. Next, please. That way, next, please. This shows better. We can enter big entrance hall, reception, big 925 square feet reception room. Then restaurant stroke cafe where 100 people can sit, and initially administrative block. And a helical staircase. It's a beautiful helical staircase. Yeah, this will be something like icon which we all can be proud. This belongs to all, and this projects Indian culture at its best. Next, please. So you can see it is a modern design what we have done. See, now you can see the windows. The windows are 2 meters wide. Windows are there. Windows here in this country, we don't put swastika right from the beginning. Swastika is a very auspicious thing for us. Even all Hindu Indian community. But because our friends, Nazi friends, anybody can damage us. This is why even when we made in Leicester Jain Center, we did not put swastika outside. But the window will have swastika. It will have a swastika, but swastika which, according to our scriptural text, Nandya swastika, which heavenly being made, and there will be 14 dreams of Mahavir's mother. And you can see how beautiful it will be. Next, this is helical staircase. You can see it, and there are figures I have given, which is all our own website. How much is going to cost? How you can help, and how we will raise the money. And, anybody can give something. You say a brick costs £100. It's neither here or there. Member can be done £10 a month. One can be like member. All these things gradually, one by one, we can do. Our few MPs also we have become members. Even tomorrow, one MP from Harrow is visiting our site. Like I can say, we take everybody together, and we want to make the best so that we will have a place of meditation and ultimately spiritual liberation. I've given breakdown how are we going to maintain for next 5 years. There's a business case also we have made it, and hopefully we succeed in making this as soon as possible with the help of everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Natubai. Now let me welcome the next speaker. Let me give you the brief introduction. Now I would like to welcome Sambhava meditation speaker Martin Griffith from Lincolnshire, who is one of the ex-trustee of Sambhava Meditation UK. Martin, can you hear me?
Yes, indeed, yes.
Yes, we can all hear you as well. You can share your experience.
Please forgive me for the late start of this webinar. I'm afraid I'm not so good with computers. Please forgive me. I wish to share Anubhuti. In Samarpan meditation, Anubhuti are considered to be very important because Anubhuti, of course, as we know, are spiritual experiences through which spiritual knowledge, something very pure, flows through. And I'd like to share Anubhuti that relate to the Guru that relate to culture, to nature, and to humanity. And I'd like to begin, if I may, by referring to the very first time that I met Swamiji. It was in 2004 at a retreat centre in West Wales. The retreat centre was Penrhw, and it was located in a very holy land where St. David, the patron saint of Wales, had formerly established his Celtic monastery in the 6th century. And it was here that Swamiji directed an Easter retreat. And on the first morning, all of the sadhaks, about 35, met in the chapel for the first discourse. I was sitting quite near to the front of the room. And when Swamiji walked into the room, I felt that a human being who had died had just entered the room. The feeling of death was very, very strong. It was very palpable. And I couldn't understand what was happening. It was only later when I read a biography and learned that when Swamiji met his first guru, Shiv Baba put Swamiji, Shiv Baba, gave Swamiji vibrated water to drink. Swamiji drank this, and for 3 days he went into a trance. When he came out of this trance, he felt that he had died and become a soul. And this was the experience that was given during the beginning of this retreat. But in addition to that, the very moment that Swamiji walked into the chapel, I experienced a tremendously powerful river of energy flowing towards me with very great force. It was so powerful that it was pushing me backwards. And it was so pure that I could see the color blue all around me. And again, it was only later, after the event, that I realized what had happened, that Swamiji had connected me to the spirituality, to the energy of the entire area. And he'd connected me to a spiritual tradition that took me right back to my own spiritual roots of long, long ago. So Samarpan meditation can connect us to the roots of our own spiritual traditions. The following month, I received a second experience from Swamiji. It involved listening to a piece of music written in the 19th century by a little-known musician by the name of Anton Bruckner. Bruckner was a very simple and devout man, and he wrote music according to a very strict practice that involved writing music for perhaps half an hour. He would then pray. He would then write music for perhaps 45 minutes and then pray. So every day that he wrote, he was punctuating his practice of writing music with prayer in a continuous stream. And in this way, he managed to keep himself empty. And in this way, he kept his chitta upon God Almighty throughout all of his work. And as a result of this, he became a very powerful medium for the flow of consciousness. The work that I listened to was the Fourth Symphony, written for about 25 musicians. And it began with the sound of the Brahmanad. I realized shortly after the work had started that as the notes of the music would rise to certain levels or drop down to certain levels, they were resonating with specific chakras. The general movement of the energy from the music was though rising up to the Sahasrara, but during the first 3 movements, the energy didn't reach the Sahasrara. Then towards the end of the work, the energy of the music dropped down from the Vishuddhi down to the Hridaya chakra, then down to the Nabhi, and there was silence. Then the music began its final ascent. It surged up to the heart chakra. It was an expansion of energy out into the surrounding space. It then surged up to the Vishuddhi, a further expansion of energy into the surrounding space. Then it rose up to the Sahasrara, and at that point, it extended out, creating a diameter of about 20 feet all around. And at that point, when the energy reached its limit, it connected with the flow of consciousness, with energy all around. And I came to understand from this experience that Swamiji had given me, that this musician, this very humble musician, had had a very pure wish to give people experiences of God. But because he was living in times when the Guru tradition in Europe had long since ended, many, many centuries ago, it was not possible for people to gain these experiences because these experiences are dependent upon soul awakening. Now, of course, Samarpan allows this. So individuals practicing Samarpan meditation in any part of the world who come from any culture can connect with a spiritual flow within their own culture through the practice of this meditation. Several years later, I experienced nature in a very interesting way, a very precise way. In this experience, it relates to the fact that some years later, I was making regular journeys to Lincoln with my wife for regular Monday evening meditations. And these meditations would end mid-evening, but often the journey back would mean that we would return home quite late. And to reach the front door of a house, it meant walking through the back garden. So it was quite a long journey from the car to the front entrance. And at that time, I'd noticed that many families of snails were collecting on the path to the house. And there were each week many items that I had to take indoors. So I put a torch in the car and would check every footstep to and from the house. And this went on for months. And on one evening, there was torrential rain, and it took a very, very long time to complete this task. And then several weeks later, I was walking back to the car in daylight, and I happened to find that my attention was drawn down to the ground, to a group of small flowers. And from these flowers, there rose this great burst of joy up towards me. It met my gaze. And what I realized in an instant was that these small yellow flowers were thanking me for respecting the snails. So Swamiji was giving me a lesson of the way in which the whole of nature is integrated, that nature flows and consciousness flows and everything is intricately connected in a very remarkable way. And through Samarpan meditation, one can also gain experiences of the energy flowing through things. One can gain experiences, for example, of energy rising through trees. Sometime later, I found myself out of doors in the open countryside, meditating in front of an oak tree. And I put my attention on the energy within. And I found that the energy within me had entered into a sort of dialogue with the energy that was rising through the tree, the oak tree in front of me. And I discovered that the energy that was rising up through the tree rose up the trunk, extended out along the branches, along the twigs to the leaves. And this process was going on continually. So Swamiji was giving this lesson that although the body of the tree is in fact perishable, there is an eternal energy, an everlasting energy that flows through it constantly. There's a further experience that I'd like to share, which connects culture to nature. I very rarely listen to long pieces of music. And a few years ago, I decided to listen to a work by a German musician called Ludwig van Beethoven, who had a very deep connection with nature. He was merged with nature. And he wrote a work called the Sixth Symphony, which is basically a work in which he presents his feelings for nature, his feelings for flowers, for trees, for woodlands, for meadows, for sunlight, and also for rain, and for small insects, small creatures. And also he presents his feelings for birds. And in this music, you can actually hear the bird song of both the nightingale and the cuckoo. And I decided to listen to this piece of music. It lasts for about 50 minutes. And I closed all of the windows in the house so that the sound couldn't reach out in the garden. And the very moment that this music began, all of the birds in the garden started to sing. The sparrows, the pigeons, the blackbirds, the little wrens, they were all singing, and they created this extraordinary chorus that continued from the beginning of the music right up until the end. And when the music ended, they stopped singing. And it seemed as though they had connected with the vibrations that were coming from this music. And I think one might interpret this in any way that one wishes to, but it was just a very, very beautiful experience in the Guru. The last experience I'd wish to share is an experience which is about our humanity. I attended an international retreat at the Goa ashram in 2014. And at that retreat, a message was given to all foreign sadhaks that it would be a good thing to study your own culture, presumably from the perspective of Samarpan meditation. And during an East retreat in Southwest Wales in 2015, I was kindly invited to give a talk on Western culture. And during this talk, there was a fair amount of focus upon the ways in which Western culture over 800 years had connected with the elements and invoked energy to rise through the chakras to purify the soul in a process that was entirely intuitive. It wasn't understood at any rational level at all. And this was the main content of the talk. And towards the end of the talk, I happened to look up at the audience, and I couldn't believe what I saw, because there were about 35 meditators present, sadhaks and sadhikas, and I couldn't see a single human being in front of me. All that I could see were their subtle forms, their souls. And I couldn't tell whether I was looking at a man or a woman. I couldn't tell whether I was looking at a young person or a person senior in years. I couldn't tell whether I was looking at a person from Europe or from India. And what was the overriding experience was that from every single soul, there were vibrations flowing. And these vibrations were flowing with pure, unconditional love. It was a very beautiful and overwhelming experience that beneath the outer covering, the soul is radiating love. And in Samarpan meditation, through the practice of gaining soul awakening, the love element starts to flow within each of us. And this becomes very, very powerful in Samarpan meditation. And this experience seemed to reveal it so beautifully. It also seemed to reveal that the whole world is one family. I recall Swamiji once stating that the basic property of water is to flow. The basic property of fire is to burn. Similarly, the basic nature of human beings is to love. And this experience seemed to come through very, very clearly during that retreat. And what I would like to mention finally is that Samarpan meditation, in addition to having the capability to connect each of us to the roots of our own culture, in addition to being able to give us spiritual experiences across the breadth of our culture, Samarpan meditation can also awaken a person's humanity and enable them to merge with nature. And as a result of this, it becomes possible for the soul to advance towards attaining its final aim. And if I may, I'd like to finish with these very beautiful words from Swamiji. They're very poetic and they need to be meditated upon really very, very deeply. He writes, "Liberation is the aim of our soul. Wherever raindrops fall, they flow towards the ocean. Whatever channel, whether a drain, a stream, or a river, the water will flow to the ocean. Water has to reach the ocean. It is a natural process. That is why liberation is the aim of our humanity." Thank you for hearing these experiences.
Thank you, Martin, for a lovely experience. Let me go for the next our event which is taking place is now we'll be doing a meditation. So let me guide you to the process of how to connect to meditation. Few things which you can do are light a candle if you can. It is optional for everyone. If you light a candle, it helps you to burn your thoughts and stay thoughtlessness and be in the present. If possible, please try to be seated on the ground comfortably with your back straight. The people who cannot sit on the ground can sit on the chair, sofa, and put your feet connected to the ground. That is Mother Earth. Please sit calmly. We will play the meditation CD, which will have an invitation to a positive energy. We all can repeat after Swamiji. After inviting positive energy, we have to sit calmly. At the end of the music, there'll be a prayer which we can all repeat together. And then there'll be a special prayer in the collectivity of pure soul for the development of Jain Center. If we can all follow after me. Kindly put your palm facing towards the sky on your knees. Now, please take your right hand slowly on the top of your head. Press it gently. Move it clockwise 3 times. That will help you to keep your attention on your crown chakra. Close your eyes. Bring your hand back to the same position. We'll be playing the meditation CD now.
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। मेरे साथ ध्यान की शुरुआत करेंगे। मैं एक पवित्र आत्मा हूँ। मैं एक शुद्ध आत्मा हूँ। मैं एक पवित्र आत्मा हूँ। मैं एक शुद्ध आत्मा हूँ। मैं एक पवित्र आत्मा हूँ। मैं एक शुद्ध आत्मा हूँ। अपने चित्त को तालुआ पर रख के ध्यान करें। प्रार्थना करेंगे, हे परमात्मा, हम सभी पवित्र आत्माएं आपको हृदय से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि सारे विश्व में शांति हो, सारे विश्व के आत्माओं की आध्यात्मिक उन्नति हो एवं सर्वांगीण उन्नति हो। यही हम सब आत्माओं की शुद्ध इच्छा है। नमस्कार करेंगे।
We'll pray for the development of the Jain Center, London. हम सभी पवित्र आत्माएं आपको सच्चे हृदय से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि जैन सेंटर लंदन के विकास का काम जल्दी से जल्द पूरा हो और सभी को इसका लाभ हो। यही हम सभी पवित्र आत्माओं की शुद्ध इच्छा है। Let's everyone do the Shanti Path. If you can all repeat after me. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let me do the voting tongues. I want to thank Dr. Natubai Shah and all trustee and management of Jain Network for your support. Thank you, Martin Griffith. Thank you, Samarpan Meditation UK and Sri Gopalan Swami Foundation India for the support. Thank you all for joining. Look forward to see you on the next session on the 2nd of August at 11 a.m. UK time. And we have regular meditation sessions in London on every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Somerset Samarpan Meditation Group meets every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Newport Meditation Center have every Tuesday at 8:30 meditation take place. If anyone wishes to join via online through Zoom, contact me. I can share the details. I request all to start doing meditation at your home every day and connect to your inner soul. Thank you.